Hello, and welcome back to this ASL Boot Camp replay of Retaking Vierville, Turn 3. I played Turn 1 and 2 quite some time ago, maybe this spring. But summer has a way of eating into your time, and I haven't done a lot of ASL videos, but fall is coming with a vengeance here, and there will be more videos coming. Actually, I think, let's see, 3, 7, I have 8 videos already in the pipeline, plans for, and more after that. So more videos will be coming to the channel. There's just been a bit of a lull here during the summer. So let's pick up Retaking Vierville Tutorial Boot Camp, turn number 3. If you recall, if you watched turns 1 and 2, the Americans took some pretty significant losses down in this area. The way I brought them on, I think I brought the first group in through here to come up through the wheat field, and here's the remnants of them right there. And it was pretty risky because the next German reinforcing platoon could basically come right in and face them in this wheat field, which is what I did with the Germans. And the Americans took quite a pummeling. In fact, the Americans have lost, let me look over here, they've lost 2.5 squads and an 8-1 leader. And the Germans have lost just 1 squad so far. And the Americans here are holding off in the center of Vierville. They've got Germans on both sides of them. They do have some reinforcements coming in here. This turn, the Germans do get, both sides get reinforcements. Germans first, and then the Americans. The Germans have to come in on the, see, this would be the east side. Or can they come on either side? Nope, they have to come on the east side, this side. And the Americans are always coming in from the north from this side because the beaches are up to the north of Vierville on the Normandy Peninsula in France. So let's kick it off. Start off with the Germans. Let's do the rally phase. I don't think the Germans, they have nothing to rally. So let's go to the American rally phase. The Americans, this guy cannot self-rally because it's not the Americans' turn, but I'll remove the DM off of him. I think I have a broken guy here with Sergeant Hayward. Yep. So we've got rally terrain bonus and -1 leadership, so it's -2. So I only need an 8 to rally him. I think there was an error in the end of the last scenario. I think there was a DM on this guy, but I don't think, I forget what fired on him, but I did a little research and he couldn't muster enough to get a result taking pinning into account. So he was not, ended up not being under DM. So this squad basically needs a 10 to rally. And got a 6. Hopefully you can see that. So they rally. That helps out the cause in the center of Vierville a little bit. Let's go to German prep fire. I've got my Germans that are coming on. I have them set up here just off board. 2 squads and a leader, I believe. Yes. I could come along any hex along this edge. I'm choosing to come in here, and I'm going to I think I'm going to try to cut up through the woods and into the buildings. Kind of get a fire base here, and that'll basically surround these Americans. So any Americans trying to get into village are going to have to go through a bunch of Germans. I don't think the Americans are going to be able to pull this off, but let's see how it goes. So German prep fire. I am not going to prep fire any of these guys because I'm going to do a little repositioning here a little bit. So I think I'll start with these units down here. Got 2 paratrooper squads out here in the open, but going to be hindered by this orchard from fire from these guys. And these guys are going to be hindered firing on anything because of the grain. They might be able to get a shot up here. What's their range? A range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might take a shot. Oh, it's going to be hindered by this orchard. It just goes along that hex spine going to there. So that would be a It'd be a long range shot. It'd be 2.5 down to 2 firepower, -1 leader, +1 hindrance. That would be a 2 even shot. I think I'm just going to move these guys too. So I'll start by firing these guys. Now I could fire into the stone buildings here or these guys out in the field. I'm not going to get much of a result. This would be a 4+4, +1 hindrance, +3 stone building. These guys can't see anything except these guys over here, but I think I might just put DM on him. So that'd be I'll fire this guy on here just to DM him. Or I could fire group these guys. I'd be at 8. I'll get DM just by moving these guys adjacent to him probably. Yeah, I'm going to fire these two up to this first squad here. So fire group, it's going to be an 8, and then it's going to be a +1 hindrance there. So 8 +1. Let me mark those guys. Prep, fired. And let's roll, see what we get. 8 +1. Got an 8. 8 on an 8. Rolled a 7. +1, 8. 8 on an 8 is a morale check. I think it's a morale of 7. Yes. Need to roll 7. And did not. I rolled a 9, which the dice would pop out. So they broke. That is unfortunate because he's going to have to route back. CX goes away on broken units. He's going to have to route back. I'll just reuse that, flip it over, the CX counter, get the DM. He's going to have to route back and kind of start over once he gets rallied to try to get into the action, but he'll be able to route back to probably there, which is the plan if anything broke. I think that's going to be it for German prep fire. Let's go to German movement. Like I said, I have these guys set up on board here, off board here, but I'll move them last. Let's start up here. I'm just going to reposition these guys a little bit. I'm going to assault move all of these guys. Assault move to there, assault move to there, and assault move to there. So I can maintain fire group. They're all now in stone buildings, and they've got control of both of those buildings, which are victory condition buildings. Remember, assault movement is a movement of one hex, or is it location? And it's location in full ASL. The wording in Starter Kit might be hex. I'm not sure if it's worded as location, but it's essentially one hex or location without expending all of your available movement factors. So those are 2 movement factor moves each, so I can assault move and thus avoid the non-assault movement -1 die roll modifier for any fire. And I'm not going to fire on them because there's no advantage to doing that against a unit that's doing assault movement unless they're assault moving in the open, because you can still get the -1 moving in the open modifier. But I'm not going to fire anything on these guys yet. Let's go down here. I don't really have, this guy's broken. Don't have to worry about fire from him. These guys are mostly blocked. This guy might get a line of sight depending on how he moved, but that's all going to be at long range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely at long range. And I'll be moving through grain. So let's go. I need to be careful though. I don't want to move into the open. I need to get into this building. I can eliminate these guys for failure to route pretty easily. Let's go. Let's go 1.5, 3. Green is 1.5. I could fire this guy. He's CX though too, and it's long range. That would be a 2 +1 grain +1 CX -1 non-assault movement. So there'd be a 2 +1 down to here. But these guys are in range 1, 2, 3, 4. But that would be a 6 +4. So a 2 +1 or a 6 +4. Let me look at my chart. 2 +1 is a better shot, actually. More chance of something happening. So I'm going to take a shot. Why not? I'm going to take a shot. This guy, long range. So it's half firepower. 7 firepower, 3.5, which goes down to 2 on the table. This guy's broken, so I can't do a fire group. And +1 total. +1 for CX, +1 for, I think I screwed that up. +1 for CX, and -1 for non-assault moving. There's no TEM for in-hex TEM for grain. There would be a hindrance if he was back 1 hex, but he's not. He's just in there. So that's going to be an even. It's actually going to be a 2 even shot. 8 on a 2 is a nada. So we mark that guy first fire. Oops. He cannot fire again. He only expended 1.5 movement factors there. It would leave 1 residual though. Get 1 residual in case anything else moves in there. Can't subsequent first fire for 2 reasons. He only expended 1.5. You have to expend at least 2 to be fired on again. And there are closer enemy units. These Germans are closer in their line of sight, so he can't fire again. Which means anything I move within 1, 2, 3, 4, if I say 5 away, these guys cannot fire at them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so these guys will go 1.5, 2.5, 3.5. That's 5 hexes away, which is further away than these units, so these guys can't subsequent first fire. Now this guy might have a line of sight, but I don't think so. No, it's blocked. Or to there. These guys, let's see, I need to see if I can get these guys for failure to route. If I move, let's put a DM on him. Instantly, when units become available or adjacent, it's immediately desperation morale. Now, to get them for failure to route, I would have to get a unit here. Because if I brought this guy up around like this, he could route. He would have to route probably back to here. I don't think he could route to here because he can see them. He'd be moving closer. Can't route to here because he'd be moving closer to those units. So I have to get something here. If I move this unit here, which is risky because of this guy here, they'd be eliminated for failure to route because they couldn't route here, here, or here. So they'd be eliminated. But I'll probably get fired at 6 minus 2. But if they route back, they would have to either low crawl or take interdiction. Several interdictions, probably. Well, 1, maybe 2, not 3 though. This would be hindered. They'd have to route to there. Or take a 6 minus 2, and that would eliminate them. Do I feel lucky? 6 minus 2. Need any kind of result on an 8 or less, minus 2. So a 10 or less would get a result. Would I pass a morale check? Morale of 8? Yeah. Morale of 8. Let's do it. Let's go 1.5, 2.5. There. And since that's a juicy target, I'm going to fire these guys here. This paratrooper squad. 7 goes down to 6 on the chart. Minus 2 for non-assault movement and moving in the open. Let's first fire. Mark him first fired, and let's roll. Roll it up, see what we get. No effect. Coward. And they're automatically marked final fire. They cannot subsequent first fire. It does leave, so they cowered, so it was 6 firepower. So residual would go, well, it would cower down to a 4, and so the residual would be 2 firepower. Nothing else is going to move in there. We'll just do it for the sake of formality. Those guys are immediately marked final fire. Not a lot of luck for the Americans. I can't move these guys. Not going to move him. Already moved him. I think I'll move Sadler. So I'll move him to there. And that's it. Other than these units I'm going to bring on. So let's go. Let's try this. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think these guys have a line of sight. They can't fire. Yeah, that's blocked. They can't see it. And that's it for German movement and defensive first fire. Let's get rid of the residual here. Defensive final fire. So they're first fired. There's nothing adjacent, so they can't fire at anything. The only thing I have are these two squads here. So I could fire group up to one of these at a 12 plus 3, or I could just fire Hayward, get his bonus with this squad, and do a 6 plus 2 with the leadership, and then do a 6 plus 3 on something. 6 versus a 12. I think I'll do that. I think I'll fire Hayward. I'll try to break up this fire group, see if I can break this guy. And it'll be a 6 plus 3 stone building minus 1 leader. So a 6 plus 2. Final fire count. Jeez. Final fire 6 plus 2. I rolled a 5. 7 out of 6 is a morale check on these guys. Morale 7, straight morale check. They passed. This squad I could fire over here. Stone building hindrance, that'd be a 6 plus 4, or I could do a 6 plus 3. I wonder if I can see that. Oh yeah, I can see that. I'll fire on the same unit here with this squad, but it's gonna be a 6 plus 3 that time because there's no leadership modifier. No leader stacked with him. 6 plus 3, that's a nothing. 10 on a 6, nope. That's it for final fire. Let's get rid of these. Scenarios this small, sometimes you don't even have to mark stuff that you fire. There's not a whole lot of units here. I'm just doing it for illustrative purposes. Advancing fire, that was defensive final fire. Yeah, advancing fire. Let's these guys can't see anything. These guys can advancing fire. They're going to take a shot at Hayward here. So fire group all of these guys. That's a 12. Advancing fire is half firepower, so it's going to be a 6 plus 3 in the stone building. See if we can get an effect there. 6 plus 3. Ooh. A 6. Final die roll of a 6 on a 6 is a 1 MC. So a plus 1 morale check. Hayward. It's a 7. He passed. So now that's going to be an even morale check. It was a plus 1 morale check, and then there's a minus 1 leadership, so it's even on the squad, and he is 7. And they broke again. I just rallied these guys, just got them back on their feet. They broke. Put them on top. Mark these guys. Prep fired, even though it's advancing fire. I'm so used to Vassal having advancing fire counters, which differentiates it. These should be gone. No, I'll leave them on there because so I don't have advancing fire on them. I'll take them off at the end of advancing fire. I got guys in the open here. This is normal range for him, but it's advancing fire. This would be 1 firepower. This would be 2, and that'd be 3. That might have to do separate attacks here. I'll do like a 2 even and a 1 minus 1. So let's do the 2 even. I don't need to fire on him. He's already got DM. He's going to be eliminated for failure to route. So let's go 2 even on here. To nothing. Oh, need more prep fire counters. And this is going to be a 1 minus 1. It's half firepower for advancing fire phase and is halved again because it's beyond normal range. It's at 5 hexes. They have a range of 4. So it's, and then a minus 1 for the leader. So 1 minus 1. That's a nothing as well. More prep fire counters. And for the hell of it, I'll just fire this guy over here. That's going to be a 2 plus 3. Not expecting anything. No snipers in this in starter kit, so you can go for any shot you want, pretty much. These guys still cannot see anything yet, so that is it for advancing fire. And in this video and the follow-on videos, I don't think I'm going to have a lot of annotation. I think I'm just going to, unless I find a mistake, and I'll try to annotate it, I'm just going to play through it and comment as I play. Very little annotation. That was advancing fire, so route. These guys are just going to stay there. No, they don't need to route, and there's nowhere that they would go that they could go, even if they did choose to route. They're pretty much stuck where they are. These guys are eliminated for failure to route. They must route because they're adjacent to enemy units. And there's only 3 places they can route. Here, they're still adjacent. Here, they're still adjacent and moving closer to enemy units. Or here, and they're still adjacent to enemy units. So they fail the criteria. They are eliminated. Another American paratrooper squad eliminated in this scenario. Looking grim for the Americans. But I've done some wacky things on this playthrough, so it's not unexpected that this is happening to the Americans. That's all for the German route. The Americans, this guy needs to route. He's in open ground. Can't remain in the same open ground hex. His targets are, yeah, that's open ground. He obviously can't route to these buildings. I guess theoretically, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, going to there would be moving him closer to there. It's 4 hexes. That's not a target. This isn't the target. He's moving closer to these guys. So he has to move. The woods could be, but this is closest in movement factors. That is a legitimate legal route location, but they will be interdicted by these units. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these units, and these units. A bunch of units could interdict them. So I have to either choose to low crawl or run for it. If I run for it, I have to pass a morale check for each hex that can be interdicted. In this case, it would be both of those hexes. Now, the alternative is I could route through the wheat. I looked up the wording real quick in the Starter Kit rulebook for the legal route target. Let's see, where is it? Okay. A routing unit must move to the nearest in movement factor along a legal route path, building or woods hex within 6 movement factors. In doing so, it can't route closer to his enemy, toward an enemy, etc. Now, it doesn't say, it just says it has to move to the nearest counted in movement factor, building or woods. It doesn't say it has to take that path, but that it has to route to the nearest in movement factor. They could take an alternate path as long as they're routing to a woods or building hex that is closest in movement factor. So their target is going to be this, but they could take an alternate route, which naturally they would, right? With in reality, if you're on the battlefield and these guys are broken out here in this grass field or whatever, open ground, do you really think they're going to shoot? This is the closest building. They're going to be like, hey, let's go to that building. It's close. Real troops, if wheat or grain is in season, they're not going to run around the wheat. They're going to take the cover of the wheat, even though they're still going to the closest woods or building hex. And by going through the grain, they would thus avoid the possibility of interdiction. So these guys could route. This is the target they have to route to, but they're going to route through the grain, thus avoiding interdiction. So they're going to go 1.5, 3, 5.5, and jump into the building with the leader there. Okay. That is it for route. Advance phase. I'm going to leave all of these guys here. These guys, even though they're stacked, I'm going to jump into that building there. Stone building. 2 stacked in a stone building with a 9-1. Fairly safe. Now here, I don't know if I want to stack all of them in there. I might want to form a mini fire group here because Americans have some more reinforcements that have to come on along here. So I think I'll advance him to there and then these guys into the stone building. So I've got potentially a 4 hex fire group to fire, depending on line of sight, all through here to hopefully keep the Americans at bay. That's it for the advance phase. There is no close combat, so that's it for German turn 3. Let's go to American turn 3, and I'm going to take a quick little magic of editing and set up the Americans and where they're going to come on, and then we will kick it off. Okay, let's kick off American turn 2. I have all of my American units are set up just on the hex off board in between these 2 hexes. Okay, I'm going to bring them on a little more traditional through here. I'm going to still have to go through some open ground to get over here. We're on turn. The Americans will have 2 turns. Maybe I should rethink that. Maybe I should bring them in because I have to get over to here to have any hope and get those buildings. I don't know. In 2 turns, can I get up in here and then after 2 turns after that, flush these guys out, get across, and then get up into here? I don't know. Even if I bring them on here, I think I might have to push across here. I don't know. It just doesn't look good for the Americans, to be honest. I mean, I could YOLO it and just bring them on here and double time a stack. They'd get lit up. The Germans just have so much firepower. Yeah, hell with it. I don't think it's going to happen for the Americans, but I'm going to bring them on right here. Okay, so we're on American rally phase. Let's go here. This guy's under DM. Rally terrain -1, leader -1, +4. So it's a +2. So basically need a 6 to rally those guys. Ooh, almost. They're going to be under DM for a while now. Missed it by 1. Up here, no leadership modifier, but I am in rally terrain, so it's a +4. -1 for rally terrain. Rally terrain is a +3 total modifier, so I need a 5. He has a morale of 8. Nope. The Germans have nothing to rally. They're sitting pretty right now. American prep fire. Everything is in stone buildings. One, two, three, 4. Guess I could. Excuse me. I wish I could have rallied these guys. I don't think. No, they don't have a line of sight over there. I think I'll go try just 6 + 3 there. Wonder if this can see. No, it's blocked. Okay, yeah. 6 + 3. I'm living on pure luck right now. Rolled a 7. It's a nothing. These guys will fire. Try to break up this fire group. Fire over here. 6 + 3. Let me hold on. Maybe I'll. was thinking maybe I could try to pop smoke, move into here, try to get into here. But that would leave me vulnerable here to all these guys because these guys would just kind of back up, take these buildings. I think I need to leave them here until these guys can push in. Yeah, I'll fire 6 plus 3. Nothing. These guys will not fire. Jeez, they're going to be running through the open. They're going to get massacred. That's it for prep fire. American movement. They're not doing anything. So let's bring on this unit here. I'm going to take the CX off. So remember, I just can't double time again. What am I going to do? I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Range of 4. They're just going to get smoked. Even if I am able to pop smoke in 1 hex, popping at my own hex isn't going to do anything for me. You know, because then if I have to move, I'll have to move out of it anyway. Popping it in an adjacent hex isn't going to do anything because they'll expend 2 movement factors to do that. They'll just get fired on. I guess I could assault move. They could fire. A bunch of these guys could fire. Most of these guys might be a hindrance from here. So there would be maybe some moving in the open. God, brutal. So I could assault move and then advance 1. And then that'd be turn 4. Let's if I run for it, 1, 2, 3, 4. They could fire a 6 minus 2. He could fire a 4 minus 2. Fire 4 even. Or fire group. These guys are like in no man's land. Let's go. It's just assault move. I'll be conservative, even though I don't think there's enough time. Do I want to fire any of these Germans? Probably. I think I'll definitely fire this guy. That'd be a 4 minus 1. Just for moving in the open. He assault moves, so there's no non-assault move bonus. 4 minus 1. 6 on a 4 is a morale check. First fire this guy. What did I say it was? 6 on a 4 morale check. Need a 7. They made it. 2 residual. Don't want to fire anything else. I think I want to save this. Could fire this guy. 4 plus 1 minus 1. Or no, sorry. It negates moving in the open, so that would be a 4 plus 1. This would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. If I fired this guy, just this guy, it would break up the fire group. So I think I'll fire this guy. Try a 4 minus 1 for moving in the open. He cowered. So he's final fired. 5 on a 2 since he cowered. 4 goes down to 2. That's still a morale check. 5 on a 2. And they broke. I don't think this one's going to go 5 turns, to be honest. 1 residual there, but there's already 2 from these guys. They're broke, so no point in firing anything on them. They're kind of out of it for a bit. They're going to have to route actually now back to here from the looks of it. They're going to be out of it for the most part. Okay, let's bring on my guys over here. Let's go. I'm with a 9-2. Screw it. I'm just stacking. I'm bringing on a tower of power. I'm going to go 2, 2, 4. Straight up move. So I'm going to fire group. Let's see. Maybe I'll just fire these guys first. Yeah. We fire Lieutenant Tichy on here. It's going to be 10 firepower down to an 8. +3 for the building. -1 non-assault. -1 leader. So it's going to be 8 + 1 total. On there, 8 + 1. 8 + 1. First fire. 4 on an 8 is a 2 MC. +2 morale check. Jeez. Leader. 10. Broke. What's the... Oh, they're ELR 5. They're good. Oops. +2 morale check. Oh boy, I need... I don't have any luck stacking, even with good leaders in stone buildings. I've had terrible luck with that lately. Maybe I should quit doing that. +2 morale check. I need 5s 4 times. There's 2 squads and a half squad. 5 4 times. First squad made it with a 3. Second squad actually broke. And that's ELR and or they have an ELR or a morale underline, and the ELR is 5. So they're immune to ELR, but they're still broken. I need to roll for these 2 half squads still. 1 half squad is pinned. Other half squad is broke. They have an underscore ELR as well. So broke, pinned. I have a pin counter. This guy is pinned. This guy made it. Leader broke. Now, because the leader broke, let me put him down on the bottom. All other squads need to take a leader loss task check, but only technically this top one does because the other ones are either broken or pinned already. So I need to take a task check for that top one. And he is pinned as well. Wow. Oop, not broken, just pinned. So what happens when you get in desperation mode? You start doing silly things, and sometimes they work, but often they just bite you in the butt. Mark these final fired. I don't know why. Was it because I rolled doubles? I can't look back at it. This is on Vassal, but they're being directed by leader, so they're still marked first fire. So they can fire again. It's going to be half. Expended 2 movement factors getting in there, so it's going to be half again. So it was 8. It's going to be 4 + 1 this time. 8 on a 4 is nothing. Now they're final fired. These guys will do a fire group. It's going to be 9 down to an 8. This squad hits this hindrance on this hex side, so it's +1, +3 for the stone building, +4. Give me an 8 + 4. 8 + 4. That's a nothing. I'll subsequent first fire. It's going to be a 2+4. And eight on a 2's a nothing. So they're final fired. Yeah, let's form a fire group here. Fire on here, at least to give him DM. That's going to be an 8+3 in the stone building. Rolled an 11. It's a nothing. Now I'm out of first fire counters. Germans have too much firepower. Sorry. That was a movement phase. I'm just moving directly into after these guys all fired on these moving units. I had no more moving units for the Americans, so we're doing final fire now. So these guys this is final fire phase. And then these guys, this guy has DM. He'll never rally. And then these guys will fire over here. It's going to be a 10 down to an 8, -1, leader +3 building, 8+2. That's a nothing. Final fired, and that is it. Let me remove all these final fire counters. I don't have any advancing fire. These are pinned. I guess I could fire at this guy here. So they're pinned. These two are pinned. So this is going to be 1.5 down to 0.75. Do I have a pen? I might have to do some fancy math here. Half squad is 0.75. This guy is going to use, he doesn't have assault fire. This squad does have assault fire, so it's going to be 3.5 for advancing fire, down to 1.75 for being pinned. Add 1, so it's 2.75, and then round it up, so that's going to be 3. So 3.75. I almost made it to 4. Dang it. 1.5, 0.75, 3.5, 1.75, 2.75, up to 3. Yeah, shoot. It's only going to be a 2 even over here. No hindrance, though, so a 2 even. Advancing fire. Rolled a 10. Should have fired up here and given these guys DM. Oh well. That's it for advancing fire. It's American route. Once again, these guys will stay here. These guys have to go to here, and they're going to have to low crawl. There's no alternate path they can go to avoid being interdicted by. They could avoid being interdicted by this squad. They could go. No, they couldn't. I was going to say they could do some weird route like this, but as soon as they start moving this way, they'd be moving back towards a known enemy unit, so they couldn't even do that. And these guys would be able to interdict them, even if they did some weird path to get in there. So they're going to have to probably just low crawl. What's their morale? Morale of 8. It's 1 hex. The Americans are pretty much screwed at this point. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to risk I'll be interdicted here. So I have to make a morale check. And they made it. So they made it to there. These guys, they'll just route. Not that it matters. Maybe I'll just leave them there. Not going to help move them back to here. I'll just leave them where they are. Let me put them on top. Germans have nothing to route. That's it. Advance phase, American advance. everything here is either broken or pinned, so they're not going anywhere. Broken, broken. Jeez. Guess I could be bold. I could go. No, I shouldn't do that. I was thinking I could go like this, but that just leaves my back door open to these guys then getting over here. So, jeez, I better leave. Yeah, Americans are doomed. Gonna be honest. No advance, no close combat. That's it for turn 3. Brutal, brutal American showing in Retaking Vierville. Honestly, I don't know if there'll be a turn 4. Let me think about this offline to see if the Americans even need to want to put up a fight trying to hold these 2 buildings and take those 2 in 2 turns with, broken. This guy will probably rally. This guy probably won't. These guys might rally, but they'll be under DM the rest of the game if they don't rally. These guys need to rally like now, next turn. If they don't, it's pretty much over. So there may be a turn 4. There may not. I'll let you know. Even if there is, maybe I'll just I'll start turn 4 with the Germans. If it just looks, it's already ugly, but if it looks really bad, I may just throw in the towel on Retaking Vierville. This version, there'll be no point going on, and then we'll move on to bigger and better ASL things in upcoming videos, including, I think we've got 4 or 5 AARs to do, including 2 playtests of scenarios. One scenario that I designed and submitted to MMP. We did a playtest of, we'll do an AAR of that. I think I'll do a video on the design process. It's the first scenario I've ever designed, so I think I might do a short video on the design process of laying out that scenario. It's a PTO, starter kit PTO scenario. Then I've got a larger video coming up. I'm tentatively calling it Demystifying Advanced Squad Leader. Kind of showing why ASL isn't as intimidating as a lot of people make it out to be, or a lot of people interpret it to be. It's not. If you approach it from a certain logical learning process, it's actually, I don't think it's any more complicated than learning the original squad leader. For example, the original squad leader rule set, squad leader through GI Envelope Victory, 140 pages of rules to learn all of those rules. Some rules get replaced or updated along the way, but it's 140 pages of program instructions from squad leader to GI. The core rule set for advanced squad leader, chapters A, B, C, D, which was what you need to play, 90% of the scenarios, 160 pages. It's not that much of a step as far as a learning process of learning full original squad leader versus pretty much full ASL. And I'll also compare that to Starter Kit, which is a much more approachable system. Anyway, I'm going to go through a fairly, I think, lengthy video on how to approach ASL and kind of demystify it for people who are either playing Starter Kit or who are completely new to the system. Maybe demystify it, strip off some of the stigma and intimidation that the system gives some people, anxiety maybe that it gives some people of approaching the system. It's not as bad as people think. Look for that video, I don't know, few weeks maybe. I've started laying it out, so I've got it planned. I've got it in the works. So keep an eye out for all of those videos. We have more content coming. Thanks for watching. Give a like below. I'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video.